happen here, we could run out to this little rubble pile.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
A ton of cudas. I mean, they're hanging there. It's pretty clear water. There he is. Oh, boy!
Nice.
Did you see that? He missed
Check this out, man. He's going to do it again.
Oh, he did it again. He got it that time, Tom. I got him.
I was looking up at yours. I didn't see mine. There he is. Keep coming. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Oh, my God. You got him. You got him.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one, dude. That is a shark.
That's the biggest fish I've ever caught. This is a stud.
Oh,
yes.
Look at that guy. I thought you said you had
I got him. Relax.
Oh, my God.
The Suffolk Saltwater Experience with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
See that one with his tail sticking out of the water?
Yeah,
There's a ton of them in there. See them all right here?
Okay, I got him.
Give it a good throw. So scooch over out here, throw too.
Crushed him. I crushed him right out here. Yeah, baby.
I've seen some big cudas on these banks. I've been permit fishing out here like every day, and you know, our sun isn't very good to see the permit today, but with this cloud cover, I'm guaranteed those cudas are still around. Those big mullet we got off the dock.
This will be fun, man. I really like, I love the cudas.
And I'll tell you, that's what I grew up catching. We used to, I mean, I was obsessed with them as a kid. Just, I'd wade the flats over there on Monkey and, you know, just kick bonefish and permit out of the way just to catch those barracudas.
I like the barracuda. It's a cool fish. It's fast. Got lots of big teeth. You know, it's a great fish for kids. It's a great fish.
That's what I grew up doing, man. That was my bluegill to you. I mean, we used to, as a kid, I would walk that beach over at Lonky, and you know, we'd go out on low tide because we could walk out to the sandbar there, and we'd throw, you know, tube lures or, you know, half pieces of ballyhoo or anything like that, and we just slayed them. I mean, it was a blast. I always wanted to catch a real big one, and this guy that lived across the street, he was really nice and was kind of a mentor. Took me out there barracuda fishing. I remember I'd always bugging him. You know, he's like, "Yeah, I got the spot. I go catch these big cudas," and man, it was just awesome. We got up on that flat, and the cudas were laying there, and we were casting and casting, and I'd have them follow and would miss them, and then I remember, you know, finally catching one. It was hard. I mean, we only caught this one big one, but I mean, it was like my prize. I remember we brought that Cuda home, you know, and I was so proud of that thing. I came back, I still got this picture of me and him standing there, you know, this big smile on our face, and you know, it's just a real fond memory for me.
Right, yeah, that's cool, man. The Cudas have always been fun for me because it's been action. Action is the name of the game, and sometimes in the wintertime we can just smoke them, just kind of like we were doing there, but all on artificial lures and all on the flats. This was cool because we took a day where we really weren't going to be able to do anything else. You know, it was just one of those things where you got cloud cover, you got a little bit of wind. It just wasn't the right recipe for a lot of kinds of fishing. So instead of, you know, we got the day off, you might as well go fishing. You know, what are we going to do? That's a great option.
You got a nervous bait. I got a fish.
Oh, good job.
Oh, look at him jumping. He's off.
Off?
I think. No,
Sure?
maybe he's on. He's on.
Maybe his brother will come over here.
He's on. That didn't take long.
Took about 2 seconds.
That's that mono, man. See that stretch? That siege? It give him just enough stretch to not pull that hook out on that real hard hook set.
Yeah, I'm fishing with mono too. I'd prefer it in this kind of situation. I'm gonna toss mine out.
All right,
there
he's coming
again.
right at. He's not too big, but there might be another one right with him. There he is.
Here, I'll help you out.
Now he's waking up a little. They are so fast. Yeah, that's that's one thing that made that Cuda fishing so great is when we originally were thinking about doing some permit fishing, we went out to those banks, but that front came in, we were right on that frontal boundary, and those clouds pushed in. And
what do you do? And
sure.
We might have gone out and found some permit, but we might have caught one.
No, yeah, it would have been tough to catch one. I mean,
why not just go and
catch
smoke them?
Smoke? Yeah. Well, that stinger got him.
What I like is this. This is what I think is really cool. Is this one tooth right here fits into that hole on every single Cuda. Look how that smashes down in there. That is like a lock. I mean, that opens, shuts, and locks right there. Then they got this. They're so hydrodynamic. Have you ever checked this out? Where they got this little groove in their dorsal, and that actually folds down in their body.
Yeah. The ultimate eating machine.
Look at that. Their dorsal just folds down completely. They're right down into that groove. If you get that back up, check out that groove. You see that?
Yeah.
Just like a tuna. It's got the same kind of.
Careful now. I see those big teeth. That was so cool, man. That's about the size when I caught when I was about 5 years old. That I was so excited about, just about like this. I remember I was trying to get his jaws, and just like what you're talking about, I was so obsessed with those jaws. They were so cool. And, man, I'll tell you what, that got me on a Cuda kick for a long time.
It's an awesome fish.
Yeah, baby. I'll tell you what, that's fun. I'll bet you there's one about 3 times that size out here, though.
Oh, I'm sure. Let's catch his granddaddy.
That was fun. They like those mullet. See you, buddy. No worse for the wear. Oh, he did it again. He got it that time, Tom. I got him. Woo, that's a big one.
Man.
Oh, my God.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Hawks Cay Resort Marina and Villas. All the fun of the Florida Keys in one island resort. Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Quantum Rods and Reels, fishing at a quantum level. By Mercury Marine. Lowrance, makers of HDS, high-definition systems. By Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Sperry Topsider, a passion for the sea. And by Loadmaster, Power Pole, Corrosion Block, Ocean LED, and Tough Line.
Tom, we could, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen here. We could run out to this little rubble pile.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
A ton of Cudas. I mean, they're hanging there. It's pretty clear water.
That's what I like to do. And if one thing's not happening.
The key with a Cuda is it's got to be moving away from, and it's got to be going away from. The faster, the better. I mean, if something stops, they lose interest. But when they come up on it, it moves faster. They have to commit, and that's what we started doing is that high-speed trolling. And we caught 3 or 4 of them on the flats there. And then when we went out to that rubble pile, now that was where it really started to happen.
Happening there.
Man, I told you.
That was more like it.
Yeah, man.
I like that a little bit better.
Well, that's that Long Key Bridge, that old bridge. They used to have it extended for the cars, and then when they built the new bridge, what they did is instead of leaving it just the way it is, they actually shaved off the sides of it.
Yeah.
And then they took barges of that and dropped it out there in these rubble piles.
Really?
I've got those marked on the GPS, and they make wonderful Cuda spots. I mean,
I bet there's all kinds of stuff down there.
There's
grouper and snapper and permit. And
remember that we got there the first pass. I mean, we put that mullet out, and you put that out, and immediately that giant one.
It was amazing, right away. I mean, just boom. There he is. The last is yours. Oh, you got mine. Look at that.
You got him already?
Holy cow.
Got him?
Yeah.
Wow,
Did you see that bite? Did you see that?
That didn't take long at all.
He came up and slammed that.
That was on the what's that? Zulu?
Yeah.
Your Zulu Cuda chain?
I got plenty of confidence in this. I mean, I think you'd catch more on this than you can on bait.
Well, for a lot of reasons. That triple Zulu thing, man, that is the ball. I mean, I throw in the winter when when it's bad around here, those single Zulus,
right.
I'll catch some Cudas on those, but I've always thought, if I could have a longer bait, because that's what the Cudas seem to key on, is long baits like a needlefish, or that's those surgical tubes that we used to use. That Zulu thing you did, sliding 3 Zulus up on a piece of wire and gluing it there with a hook on the back. I bet you it worked good with a treble.
If you're throwing out there and you're reeling as fast as you can or trolling or whatever, you know, as it's going really fast through the water, man, the Cuda just sees a lot of motion and a lot of action,
great.
and all of a sudden the lure's this long, you know, and you can get them excited about
Obviously,
that.
it worked real well. That's a nice, nice rig. I think I might have to rig me one of them. Now, how did you get them to hold on there?
That's the secret.
No. That's just straight super glue or what?
A little super glue. That's all you need.
Right on the wire.
Yeah.
Nothing
Don't
else.
pull on it too hard though, because it'll come off.
Cuda obviously pulled pretty hard on it and it didn't come off.
Yeah.
It's great, dude. Let's go around, make another pass. I'm gonna rig up on a lighter rod too, I think. And you remember it was a little rough out there to, you know, just troll into the sea or whatever in the bay boat, but you know, we just run back around and we come down sea, and every pass we'd go by, it was exciting because, you know, you're holding your rod, you know, these nice little light rods, and you're seeing your bait skipping on top, and you know it's gonna come. There he is! Oh, boy!
Nice.
Did you see that? He missed
Check
it.
this out, man. He's gonna do it again. Almost guaranteed.
Skyrocketed.
There he
He
is.
did it again. He got it that time, Tom. I got him. Woo, that's a big one.
Man.
Oh my God, he got off.
All right, well, I'll catch his brother. Don't
Did
you worry.
you see that?
That was awesome.
Oh my God, that was incredible. Skyrocketed out of the water twice, man.
He pulled a little drag on the way, too.
I'll tell you what, man, I don't know why we don't do this every day. This is awesome. We could be on a flat trying to see a bonefish or permanent in these clouds and having trouble, and this is awesome, man. If that doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what will. I switched on to the slider tackle, of course, and as always, hooked the biggest fish of the day. Fishing open water structure, there's nothing more important than a GPS and a bottom graph. You've got to have both. You've got to be able to, first of all, get to the open water structure. You've got to know where it's at with that GPS. You also want a chart plotter where you're going to be able to see your drift or your trolling line when you go over that pattern, so you can go back and go over it again and go back, and you know exactly where you're going to drift. You need to have that bottom graph so that when you're drifting over it, you can see the fish, you can see the structure, you can see it come up, you know exactly when to drop your baits, you know exactly how to catch those fish. My favorite feature is to be able to have it on split screen like this, where I can have my exact position here, where I can zoom right in on my track, I can know right where I'm drifting, right where I need to be, but more importantly, I can watch the fish and see the bottom structure when I need to drop my baits. This is the way you can most effectively fish open water structure, whether it's a wreck, a rock pile, out in an open lake, it doesn't matter what it is. If you have this feature where you can see exactly where you are, exactly where you're drifting by, and be able to see at the same time, see your fish in that same screen, you've got the best of both worlds. There he's on me, he just ate it.
Oh, nice.
Look at that bite, look at that bite.
That's a huge Cuda.
Look at that,
Oh,
oh
yes.
yeah! Look at that jump. You got a double?
I'm gonna get one. No doubt about it here. All right, there he is. Got it.
Double?
Got it. Mine's
going
coming
under.
up.
I gotta go under you. Oh, mine just got off. Jeez.
Oh, I got a big one. Right here.
Good. Well, the key element to that spot, obviously, getting there, it was out in the middle of nowhere.
Find it.
Yeah, I mean, we went to that rubble pile, and we're running, 5 miles out there in the middle of nowhere, and right to the spot, and more importantly, then I put on that split screen, and we've got the mark there. We can see our track as we drift over and back and over and back. You can tell which way you're drifting with the wind, and then we're able to, on the same time, watch the screen, and as we go over the rocks, you can mark the fish. You saw numerous times.
Marking them.
We mark it and we get bit. We mark it, we get bit.
Yeah.
Because it was so cloudy, you couldn't see any fish. We had to rely totally on our electronics at that spot.
Now you got him.
Yeah, good. Baby. Look at that. Now you wonder why they're so hard to keep on the hook. Look at that. There's no part of that hook is actually embedded. Look at that. Look at that. How he's he's got it. He's got nothing in there.
Just like wedged.
Just bone and teeth.
There you go.
Yeah, man. That's a nice one. I'm telling you, the one I had on was bigger.
Oh, it was bigger. You don't have to tell me. I saw it.
That's nice. That's good.
Very cool, man. Let's get another one.
I'm telling you, they are stacked out here on a sunny day. You can see them laying on top. a lot of. This is what I was talking about. It's bridge rubble.
Yeah.
It's where they actually took some pieces off of that old bridge there when they converted it back into a fishing pier. And yeah. All right, there he goes. It's about 20 feet of water, and it comes up to about 12 feet of water. I mean, remember when we go over with the GPS or the bottom machine, you can see the graph, come up there. And you're marking all those fish everywhere.
Yep.
And but the Cudas are just thick. It was a little cloudy with that cold front coming in. You couldn't really see the bodies on the water, but on a sunny day, you can go out there and see the Cudas rafted up everywhere.
There he is. You got him, didn't you?
I got him.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. I gotta back it off. We're good. You wanna take the controls, Tom?
Yeah, man.
We might need to chase this guy. I got him on the light rod. Oh, look at him jump. I got him on the 10-pound rod.
Tell me if we need to go after him.
He's coming at me now. I switched on to the slider tackle, of course, and as always, look, the biggest fish of the day.
Wow, did he come off? Or
No,
you got him?
not this time, thank goodness.
Get yours.
Look at that jump, nice. Nice.
That's cool.
Spicy.
You know, that's what those guys do. It makes them so much fun to catch. Plus, they are one of the fastest fish in the ocean. I got one
Coming
right
up.
here.
Oh, look at him going crazy. Oh, yeah.
That's cool. I got one right here.
Yeah, a lot of times I get doubles when we got one hot and heavy, they get juiced up. I'll tell you, you're the one that got me onto the GPS. I am so addicted to that unit, I would never go.
Oh yeah, it's funny to get the phone call. Man, my GPS isn't working. There's like a shake in your voice. What do I do? I don't know about my GPS. What? You can navigate in the dark with sunglasses on. What do you need the GPS for?
Well, I can't find that rubble file, but I can tell you that. Look at that. Lassoed. Yeah,
Look at
baby. I like it.
That's fun, man.
Dude, that was on a 10-pound
I'll tell you
line.
what.
All those jumps.
That's fun. And
Big
there's
old-
nothing else we would have been doing today that would have given us as much action as this.
No?
We got this weather coming in. Get out, catch a couple of fish.
That's what I grew
Get
up.
back before it gets windy and nasty and cold. And
Man, it's a lot of fun. It's what I grew up doing. I love it. Absolutely. I mean, talk about getting back to your roots,
it's fun.
That's cool.
I do a lot of Cuda fishing in the wintertime.
I've really neglected it over the years.
And in the summer. The Cuda fishing seems to be the best in the winter on the flats, and in the summer on the wrecks.
Awesome
so
stuff,
cool.
man. Awesome stuff.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Yellowfin, only at a Yellowfin. Finor, legendary tackle since 1933. The Florida Keys in Key West, come as you are. Yeti Coolers, wildly stronger, keep ice longer. Motor Guide, never stop. By Sirius Marine Weather, satellite weather direct to your boat. And by Under Armour, King Sailfish Mounts, Staybill, Scott Fly Rods, and Plano.
Most of the day I was fishing bait, either we start off with catching those mullet in the morning. I mean, that's what I've been really catching the biggest Cudas on, is casting in those mullet. And those mullet have been hanging on those docks pretty consistent. And, and that's a great bite too, but, and we had them come up and hit those live mullet. But finally, when I saw you smoking them on that Zulu, we downsized to the lighter stuff there.
Yeah.
And went artificial. And that's when we hooked up that double header at the end. Of course,
yeah.
the biggest fish on the lightest rod as usual. And I bet Stray King didn't think that you'd be using a triple Zulu. You got to send him a picture of that, right?
Yeah, that would be cool, but I don't think I can take credit for I might be able to take credit for the first triple Zulu. I think Shaw Grigsby did the first double Zulu. He kind of showed me that trick, and I was like, well, if two's good, three's better.
That's always your philosophy, right?
There he is. He's coming after you. He's coming after you. He's coming after you. Did you get him? You got him? You got him? All right.
You got one on you too.
I do? I was looking up at yours. I didn't see mine. There he is. Keep coming. Come on, 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 come on.
Oh my God, you got him, you got him.
Oh yeah.
That's a big one, dude.
Yeah, it
Go
is.
switch sides. That's a stud. You got him on the Zulus, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice job, man.
Oh man, it's smoking me.
I'm gonna pull it out of gear.
Yeah, please do. I don't need any more.
Dude, you gotta land yours. Yours is a stud. What a bite, too.
More difficult. I had to work it, man. I couldn't just sit there and let it come in. I had to.
Oh, he's coming fast. Coming fast.
That's cool, man, when you can find an area like that with that many fish of any kind, you know, and get them to come to the surface, you know, and bite something so that you can see it and see the fish chasing after it.
I mean, to see him
It's really
skyrocket and come up and bust, I mean, it was awesome. There he is. Yeah, baby. Yes,
cool.
yours is a lot larger than mine.
Whatever, you know. It's cool.
Now that was amazing. You did so good on the Zulus, man. So good.
The Zulus can outfish.
I mean, we sat there for most of the afternoon here. You with the Zulu, and me with the real bait, and look what you're catching. Yeah. Look what you got. All right, now it's ready. See it, buddy.